morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We will get started in a couple of minutes with our special presenters from Alaska Federal Credit Union, USA. Thank you. Give it about a couple more minutes, everyone, for the rest of our students to show up. Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here on day 3 of the program. We are very excited to see your marketing challenge commercials in a little bit. And as I mentioned, we have Danielle DeFries here, and they are from Alaska Federal Credit Union, USA. Their presentation is a guide to money. It's a workshop specifically designed for high school students and young adults and explores important money issues like saving, borrowing, investing, and insuring. And Danielle, I can't see on here. Do you have anyone else with you today to present?
Yes, I do. I've got JD Delgado. He'll be running our quiz show. And then Casey Holland is also on. She'll be managing chat. Her video camera is not working though.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I do see JD.
JD and Casey, welcome as well. And it looks like, Danielle, you mentioned if the students want to interact, they should enter their answers into chat. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, so Casey will manage chat. So if there are any questions you have during our presentation, you can chat in and she'll do her best to answer as we go. Otherwise, we will get all the answers to your questions to your company advisors by the end of this week or to Washington Business Week to forward to later on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'll leave it to you. Take care.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. Good morning. Hope you're having a great Washington Business Week. As we mentioned, we're with Alaska USA Federal Credit Union, and this presentation we're going to share with you today are some ideas on how that you can manage money, how you can save it, and how you can spend wisely. So as we mentioned throughout the presentation, we're going to be having some questions through our quiz show. JD will be asking those questions, and we have selected one individual from each company to participate in the 8 rounds of questions. This week, I know some of your companies are a little bit smaller, so you might have the opportunity to participate in the quiz show more than once. You will not know when it's your turn until your name is displayed on the slide. So be sure to take notes and be ready to shine when it's your turn. If you are called on, or I'm sorry, if you are an individual for that quiz show, you're going to chat in your company name. So chat in A, D, G, etc. And the first company name that we see displayed will be the company called on to answer that round of questions. If you're called on, please unmute and provide an answer. The answers will be tallied into points and a winning company will be chosen. There are prizes involved we will be getting to. So let's get started. Let's see here. All right, in order to get a true picture of how you spend your money, you'll need to start tracking your spending. This might include a log that you can monitor your spending habits. Think about your spending. Do you spend money as fast as you get it? Do you think before you spend? Or do you divide money into categories like spend, save, give, maybe even share? Then you want to make a list of your income. Write all the ways that you currently receive income from a job, gifts, mowing lawns, etc. Then you want to evaluate your situation. Be realistic with your current financial situation and look at every area of your life that affects your finances. For example, some of you might have a car right now. Those that have a car know there are a lot of other expenses that come with vehicle ownership. Aside from the cost of your monthly payment, you have the cost of gas money, repairs, or car insurance, to name a few. When you have a clear picture of your spending habits, your income, and current financial situation, you're ready to start creating your financial plan. This will include creating a saving and spending plan. You want to list out your known monthly fixed expenses, meaning those expenses that will not change from month to month. This should also include the amount that you set aside for savings. Then you'll want to list out your variable expenses. Variable expenses are the ones that can change or vary from each month. A car payment would be a fixed expense, but gas for the vehicle would be a variable expense. Then you're ready to put your plan into action. Now that you've pooled your information together and written it down, it will only work if you stick to that plan. Your financial needs can change over time, so be sure to keep your financial plan up to date. Through this section, we've been calling this your financial plan, but really all it is that dreaded B word, a budget. Being honest about your financial situation is a vital part to succeed with money. To quote our quarterback, Russell Wilson, the separation is in the preparation. Preparing a budget or a plan for your savings and spending is a must. This example is a financial plan or budget. On the left, you can see the total income that is to be calculated. On the right is a list of your fixed and variable expenses. If we took a look at this budget example, you could see that after deducting both the fixed and variable expenses, there would be a line at the bottom that has a difference. Hopefully, you have money left over, and you can decide where you want that money to go. That's a great opportunity for you to determine that. We hope that you decide to save it, but you might invest it, share it, or spend it. All right, we have our first round of the quiz show. These are the names of the individuals that will participate in this round. Again, when JD asks the questions, please chat in your company name. All right, JD.
All right, so the first question to get us kicked off, define a budget. I don't see anyone in the chat function yet.
I don't either. Remember, you don't have to provide the answer. You just have to chat in with your company letter. Okay. All right. I wonder if you guys are doing a private chat instead of chatting to everyone. Okay.
If anybody wants to answer, you can just, yep. All right, Timmy.
There we go.
All right, there we go. Team E, go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and give me the answer. What's a budget?
A budget is a written plan for your expenses and desires.
There you go. Nailed it.
Next question.
All right, question 2. Your car payment or rent is an example of what type of expense? All right, Team D.
It's a fixed expense.
Nice. Nailed it.
Great.
All right, last question on this round. Name 2 examples of a variable expense. Team A, it looks like.
It's like company F.
Was it F? Okay.
Food.
What was that?
Fast food.
Yep, and one more. We need 2 examples.
A chainsaw.
Technically that would be variable because it's not consistent month over month. So yeah, there you go.
I like to know what you're doing with fast food and a chainsaw. That sounds fun. All right, good job, everyone. All right, so as we mentioned on your budget, hopefully you have money left aside and you choose to save that. Most institutions will have a variety of savings account options that they offer, but the requirements for each of those accounts might differ from institution to institution. There are some things that you should consider, like what options does that institution have for savings? What are the fees associated with doing business with them? And what additional services do they offer that will suit your current and future financial needs? Before you choose a savings account, you should also consider what your short-term or long-term financial goals are. A short-term goal might be to spend $500 for emergencies or a weekend trip you want to take in a few months. But a long-term goal might be to buy a motorcycle or a boat in 10 years or retire at the age of 50. Beyond the basic savings accounts, most institutions offer money markets. This money market is similar to a savings, but it pays higher dividends or interest than a basic savings account. A money market would also typically require a larger minimum balance to earn that higher dividend and avoid a fee. Another savings option you have is a certificate of deposit or CD. A CD will also earn higher dividends, but in order to earn that higher dividend, you agree with an institution to keep the money on deposit for a set period of time. If you withdraw the money before that term expires, you will incur a fee for breaking the contract with the institution. In a moment, we'll review a few ways that you can achieve your goals and establish an easy way to pay yourself first, or PYF. But first, we'll check in what we learned about savings. Here's the name of the individuals participating in round 2.
All right, so first question on this round. Why is it important to shop around before you open a savings account? Team B, it looks like.
Looks like Team G came in first.
G, okay. All right, Team G.
Team G, just make sure you unmute.
Okay, we can't hear Team G. I'm not sure if you're still muted. Let's go ahead and try Team B. They were next to chat in.
It's important to look at different accounts and see what like features or fees they might have with the savings account.
Yep, exactly. And that was Team B?
Yep.
Nice job. All right, question number 2. What type of savings account would guarantee a return but requires you to keep money in the deposit for a certain length of time? Looks like Team E. That was Team E.
Certificate of deposit.
Nailed it. Also known as a CD. All right, so the last question is define a money market. All right, I know this can be a tough one, but a money market, who's got this?
All right, let's throw that out there to anyone on any company that wants to take a chance at this one.
It looks like company F.
F.
A money market is similar to a savings account, but it pays higher dividends or interest, and it also requires that you have a minimum balance in your account.
Someone's taking notes out there. That is almost verbatim. Nice job.
She is hired at Alaska USA.
Great job, everyone. As we mentioned, the principle of pay yourself first is important for successful savings. Savings should always be a priority with your finances. You want to think of yourself as a bill that you owe yourself. By applying this principle, you will always be able to set aside money each month towards your savings goal. To pay yourself first, there are a lot of ways that you can do this. If you have a job that offers direct deposit of your paycheck into your account, you can have your savings amount automatically transferred each month that your pay comes in. Or you could establish a direct transfer within your bank so that that set amount is deposited to your savings on an automatic basis. You should also increase the amount that you save as your income increases. Most consumers will increase their spending when they earn more money, but they don't always think to set aside more to their savings. You always want to keep the amount that you save at a level that you can stick with. Be realistic with your savings. While savings is important, you want to be sure that you have enough money to pay your monthly expenses and to have some extra for fun. After all, you work hard for your money and you should enjoy it. So let's check in with what we've learned and ready for round 3 questions.
All right.
Here's our group 3.
All right, question 1. What should always be a priority when creating a budget? Company D.
You should always have a set amount going into your savings account and making sure that you pay off your fixed expenses.
Yep, that's it. First one is savings first. Question 2, describe the concept of paying yourself.
So company F.
Either have like a direct deposit or a direct transfer to make sure it goes straight into your bank account.
That is very close. I mean, that's, yeah, basically you want to make sure the money goes to yourself first, such as a savings account, and then everything left over goes to your bills. And then the last question, provide 2 examples of long-term financial goals.
Company D.
Make something like buying a house or buying a nice car in the future.
Absolutely. Nice job.
Well done. All right, let's talk about checking. Some of you might already have a checking account. A checking is designed to give you easier access to your money in order to manage your day-to-day financial needs. One of the most important aspects of having a checking is keeping track of your spending very closely and maintaining accurate records, whether you access your money through paper checks, cash, or debit cards. Keeping accurate records is important because the cost of bouncing a check could make a significant dent in your financial plan and budget. Bouncing a check means that you wrote a check or used your card and the funds were not available in your account. When this happens, there's an NSF fee, or non-sufficient funds fee, added to the cost of your transaction. The average NSF fee ranges from $25 to $34. And aside from that fee, you could risk having your checking account closed. You'll experience a difficult time opening accounts in the future, and you possibly be charged a higher rate when you apply for a loan. Though ATM and debit cards are convenient, useful tools for accessing your checking funds, if used irresponsibly, they can also cause problems. They can have NSF fees associated with them as well, or result in your card being declined at the checkout line or restaurants. Irresponsible use of your card can also negatively impact your relationship with the financial institution and your future financial goals. An ATM card is a way to electronically access cash through an automated teller machine. With the card, you're provided a PIN that you use at the ATM that accesses your account and withdraws cash. In most cases, a debit card, like a Visa check card, can also be used in an ATM with a PIN. However, the debit card is specifically linked to your checking account. The debit card will allow you to use your card in place of cash, and that transaction is processed and funds are taken out of your checking electronically. As we mentioned, keeping accurate records is important, and online access is a great way to actively monitor your account. Always keep in mind that some transactions you've conducted might not have posted to your account yet. The online information should always be compared to your personal records. Monitoring your account is always important and can help you to recognize any fraud or unauthorized purchases that might have occurred. Remember to protect your financial information. You want to establish a strong password, create security questions, and change your password from time to time. They're all steps that you can take to help avoid someone from gaining access to your account or financial information. Also, shred your personal information and sign up for electronic statements are another ways that you can protect your account. Who's ready for round 4? Here's the name of those individuals that will participate in this round of questions.
All right. Question 1. What does it mean to bounce a check? Company G.
It means that you try to pay for something, but you don't have the funds you need to pay for it, and then you can get an NFF fee that can be $25 to $34.
Yep, you definitely got it right. Good job. All right. So, E was first.
How about we have E answer the next question?
There we go. I like it. All right. Question 2. Why is it important to track your available balance and keep records?
Company E, are you available to answer this question?
It's important to make sure that your account wasn't like stolen or used by someone else.
That is a good aspect of it, definitely. Another part of it too is make sure that there's no pending transactions that you haven't accounted for yet. But security is definitely the utmost. And last question, what does NSF stand for and what is the average NSF fee?
Company A.
It stands for like not sufficient funds and $25 to $35.
Nailed it. Perfect. Good job, guys.
All right. Excellent. All right. Now we're going to take some time to talk about the importance of credit. Having a foundational knowledge of credit and credit reporting can assist you in a strategy we call smart borrowing. Your credit report is a financial history that lenders will use in order to determine what risk level you are in paying back the loan. Your credit report contains information such as the amount of money that you owe, if you have or are currently borrowing money. This will also include your auto and your credit card debt, how promptly you pay your bills, and where you live and work. Lenders will usually obtain your credit report by purchasing it from a credit bureau. Credit bureaus don't start collecting information about you until you're age 18, and they'll use the information to calculate a 3-digit credit score. Your score can determine whether or not you're approved for a loan, what interest rate you might be charged. An excellent credit score will range from 720 to 850. and your payment history makes up the largest portion, or 35% of your total score. There are secured and unsecured types of credit. All this means is that if you have a secured loan, that there is something physically attached to the money and the loan dollars that you borrowed. An example of a secured loan would be an auto loan or a home loan. Another way to think of this is if a loan is secured, then there's something that the lender can physically take back from you or repossess if you do not pay. An unsecured loan, by contrast, is a loan that doesn't have collateral tied to it. An unsecured loan would be a signature loan or a line of credit. These loans are based purely off the credit worthiness of the individual and that individual's agreement with the lender to pay back the loan according to the loan terms. Unsecured loans tend to have higher interest rates because there is a higher risk involved for that lender. When we talk about the cost of credit, that simply means the amount of the loan dollars borrowed plus the interest broken down into a payment summary or schedule. Let's consider if you had a credit card with a $5,000 limit that you owe at a 13.5% interest rate. You make a minimum payment of $150 each month. If you only make that minimum payment each month and do not use your card again, it will take you 3.5 years to pay off that balance. And more importantly, you would have paid more than $1,300 in interest. So that $5,000 credit card actually costs you more than $6,300. That's the cost of credit. Borrowing money always comes with a cost, so you should consider your options before you borrow. Think, is this purchase necessary or can it wait? If it can wait, maybe I could save for it rather than borrow, or at least save a larger portion so we don't have to borrow so much. If you decide to borrow, make sure that you borrow only what you need, because you have to pay the money back. And the more you borrow, the more you have to pay back and the more that loan will cost you. All right, ready for round 5 questions? Names of the individuals in this round.
First question, at what age does a credit bureau begin collecting information about you?
Company E.
Age 18.
Yep, good job. Question 2, your payment history is important and makes up approximately what percentage of your overall credit score?
Like company E again.
35%.
Company's on a roll, nice job. All right, last question. Give 3 examples of a secured loan.
Company F.
A house, a car, a TV. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be a little hard to secure a loan against the TV, but it could be done, I suppose.
Maybe.
Very good. All right, I can get the screen to advance here. Okay, unfortunately, my connection interrupted. Okay, does everyone see that screen now? All right, my computer almost shut down. All right, this last slide we're going to cover to wrap up the presentation are some items that are often overlooked until you're much older, but they're critical for financial planning. The first is insurance. Insurance is something that you should consider sooner rather than later. It might be car insurance, renter's insurance, health insurance, or life insurance. Budgeting for insurance when you're young can be a huge cost savings. Most people will choose their insurance company based on the one someone else in their family or friends use. That insurance company might not be the best option for you. There are numerous insurance options, and shopping around could save you money and provide better protection. Be cautious though, and avoid signing up for an insurance policy that you do not fully understand. Investments. Most people will invest for 2 reasons, growth or income. An income investment will pay you interest and add to your income. These are stocks and generally less risky than growth investments in typically shorter terms. The interest that is earned is typically lower than a growth investment. like a CD or savings bond would be an example of an income investment. Growth investments, on the other hand, offer higher potential for return on your money over a longer period of time. There is a higher risk, and a growth investment typically comes without a guarantee. If you are comfortable with the risk, there is potential for larger growth of your investment. An example of this would be stocks or mutual funds. When you purchase shares of a stock, you are becoming a part owner of the company. Hopefully that company will do well and your investment will grow over time. When you consider investments, it's important to know that it pays to start early. Investing a small amount each month might not seem productive at first, but the earlier that you start saving and applying money, you will have more down the road. Remember, investments will pay over time. When your earnings have time to compound over the years, you will earn more. Okay, this chart is an example of an investment chart and the effect of compound interest and investing early. The numbers along the bottom indicate the age of the investor. This example shows that at the age of 25, this investor put in $2,000 a year in a mutual fund that averaged 10% return. That person would have $885,000 by the time they're 65. Whereas waiting 5 years and investing starting at age 30, you would have only approximately $329,000. And that is more than $500,000 difference. Imagine how much you could earn if you started investing maybe at age 18 or 20, or even increase the amount by $1,000 a year. Diversification is also an important consideration for investing. Having all your eggs in one basket could pose a greater risk than choosing a mix of income or growth investments. And always consider the level of risk you are comfortable with when you invest. We are on to round 6. Everyone's got the names of the individuals.
All right. Question number 1. How do most consumers choose a specific insurance company?
Company E.
They choose based on what their family or friends use.
Nice job. That's exactly it. All right. Question 2. List 3 ways to financially invest in your future.
It's like company G.
Oh, that was for the last question.
Okay, company B then.
Stocks, mutual costs, and interest.
Very close. So give me one more.
I didn't write a third one down.
Okay. I'll give it to you. That was good. And last one, list 3 types of insurance products.
Company F.
Car renters insurance, health, and home.
Solid. That's it.
All right, the next round of questions we have to conclude the presentation are simply true or false. So hopefully some of these tips you've taken away will help in answering the truth about Millionaires quiz. All right, in group 7, you'll notice some of these individuals might have already participated. Are you ready?
All right. True or false? Most millionaires inherited their money.
Group F.
False.
Yep. Only 19% of millionaires were given any money or wealth from their family. Next question. True or false? Most millionaires make their money in glamorous ways.
Group B.
False.
Yep. Most millionaires work very ordinary jobs, but build their businesses and accumulate their wealth over time. All right. Next question. True or false? Millionaires have lots of credit cards.
Group E.
False.
Yep. Many don't use credit cards at all. And if they do, statistically, they keep just one, and most pay it off in full each month to avoid any kind of interest.
Great job. And the final round of questions, we've got group 8. Again, these are true or false.
All right,
Okay.
group 8, let's bring it home. True or false? Most millionaires own their own business.
Group E.
True.
That is true. Most millionaires consider themselves to be entrepreneurs. They usually work more hours than the average person and are the decision makers in their company. Next question, true or false? Most millionaires are college graduates.
All right, company E.
True.
Yep. 4 out of 5 millionaires are college graduates. They are all educated. And last question for you guys. They're true or false? There is a good possibility that you can be a millionaire.
Company D.
Yes. It's true.
True, yep, exactly. It's not that hard if you stick to a savings plan and go to college.
All right, well, that concludes our presentation for the day. I know we have just a few moments. We're going to give both Casey and JD some time to tally up those points. But we want to take this time to thank you for your attention today. We wish you the best at the rest of your business week this week. And we wish you success in your financial future and hope that you found some of this information helpful to develop some good financial habits. If you need financial services or information at any time, we are available. You can visit us at alaskusa.org. Do we have the winning company?
Yes, we do. It looks like company E is our winner today.
Great job, company E.
Congratulations.
All right, we will talk to Business Week and your company advisor and get your addresses and have some prizes mailed out to you again, hopefully by the end of this week. Thank you for your time and have a great day.